Hello dear chess friends and welcome to our new video. Some of you wanted to see my colleague Dan and me in action playing chess, so here I will show you some blitz game I played on the internet. 5+0 is tempo, so let's see. I will try to do commands, of course, for your enjoying by playing with some random players over the world. This time this guy is from Philippines, my opponent, and let's this time go for some close Sicilian with g3. Okay, e6, he wants to play d5 probably, bishop g2, d5, no problem, ed and d4. I want to create him isolated pawn on d5. It's dilemma for him. Aha, he wants to advance. Okay, let me crush his pawn center with b3. Of course, now his reaction with b5 can be met with my a4. He takes, let me take with a. I want to put my bishop on a3 later on. I open the file for my rook. He plays that, but due to that fixed pawns on d4 and d5, I need actually a light square bishop on the board, not dark square bishop, so exchange of dark square bishops will be in my favor. Let him take, no problem. I take with queen, of course. Now I want to put my cavalry on e2, f4 and c3, targeting weak pawn on d5. So knight e2, preparing castling. I want to castle short, of course. Let's see what my opponent will do. Knight c6, normal. Castling short. Let me put pressure on that pawn. Knight f4. All that is normal. Black wants to finish development, but still there are some problems he must solve, because looks like I have initiative with attacking that pawn. If he plays knight b4, which looks normal, I will just protect my pawn and get tempo by transferring my knight somewhere. But after bishop e6, he wants to defend the pawn, but now if I take on e6, he will have problem with that backward pawn. So transformation of advantages. Let me take it. I don't need anymore my rook on the a file. From a, it will be transferred to e file. Okay. Another pressure to that pawn, bishop h3. I can even double on the file, or maybe transferring my knight to f4, or maybe something else. Let me transfer the knight to f4, which looks natural to me. Okay. New pressure is added to the pawn. Next would be doubling, of course. All my forces would be focused on attacking weak pawn on e6. Rook e3. If he plays knight f5, I will take with great pleasure. Of course, maybe he will get rid of the pawn, but he will have hole on e5. And file will be mine. He rather takes with rook, no problem. Pressure and pressure and pressure. In some moment I can even strike with c4 and eliminating pawn on d5 with d5 using the pin I have on the e file. Okay, so e6 is a weakness. I want to attack. He defends that so many times. It's time for me to put additional pressure. That is with c4. c4 with additional pressure, what would he do? Aha, he allows me to capture and to put rook on 7th rank. Okay, let's go for it. Sacrificing on f4 will give nothing to him. Maybe queen g4, threatening primitive rook f4, but okay. Now it's my turn. What to do right now? Okay, knight h5, he will play rook to e f7 or rook g6, or maybe just knight d3 to put knight on e5. Let me think. Okay, let's play knight d3, but rook, knight e6. Interesting. No. Rook c1 with setting another rook to 7th rank. Yeah, it's very difficult to play and explain in the same time. Let's see what would my opponent do. Patient improving. Is it extra pawn for me after knight d5? Looks like he attacks my rook. No problem, I take this pawn. Now I take this pawn. Extra pawns for me, that should be winning. But the most important thing here is active rook. f4 eliminating problems with f2 pawn once forever. Is time for king to join action? Yes, I think. Don't forget about your king in the endgames. Knight c1. Okay, is that knight trapped? Looks like. Tricky move. Rook b5 and he takes my knight. No, guy, no chance for this. Check. And now knight c6, I think. The simplest. Rook b8. Extra pawn, so let's trade rooks. Okay, that's dirty trick, giving him nothing. I just do this. Or even there. Check gives him nothing. Knight's under attack. Okay. King c5, that prepares my next move, which is knight c6, of course, with an easily winning endgame. I will just march with my passed pawn. No compensation for black. Let him take all my pawns, who cares? Okay. Now this move. If knight moves b7 with king b6 will end the game. And that happens. Now they're not checks. Knight c6 threatening the mate. That will be played for sure. It's time to resign. And my opponent resigned. So, dear chess friends, I hope you enjoyed that video. That was a very nice game. You could see first I attack weak pawn on d5, then weak pawn on e6, transformation of advantages. Later I managed to activate my pieces using c file and d file to penetrate 7th rank, and activity of my rook was decisive positional factor in rook endgame. Thanks for supporting us, thanks for watching us, help us to be better, we are here to help you to improve. Once again, thanks for all your likes, dislikes, of course, as well, and critics, suggestions, and ideas. Once again, if you didn't do that, subscribe to Chess Club Pobednik and enjoy with us in the future. See you soon with new material. Bye bye.